We start off first with the latest from Afghanistan. Capital Kabul is under attack yet again, this time at a military hospital. At least 19 people have been killed, 40 have been injured after two explosions followed by gunfire hit Afghanistan's biggest military hospital in Kabul. In the latest, the Taliban security officials have claimed that all four attackers have been killed and their 2.5-hour-long operation has officially ended now. That's the latest coming in. The explosions took place at the entrance of the Sardar Mohammad Daud Khan Hospital in central Kabul. The Interior Ministry spokesman Qari Saeed Khosti has confirmed the deployment of security forces in the area. The blasts have targeted the former diplomatic zone in Wazir Akbar Khan area in central Kabul. Photographs and videos have been shared by the residents of Kabul. The visuals show Taliban security forces rushing through the traffic after the explosions. Gunfire heard near the Kabul military hospital and a plume of smoke was seen rising at a distance. There was no immediate claim of responsibility.
There's been an explosion. Behind me, you can see those fumes that are getting out, that are coming out from that's the Sardar Daud Khan Hospital. The road's been entirely cordoned off. It's been cleared. What we've heard are two explosions, sounds of intermittent gunfire. The Taliban are trying to prevent anybody coming near to this very road. There are unconfirmed reports that there can possibly be an attack. But what we've heard from the local media is that there was a suicide explosion or an apparent suicide explosion. And now when we got here, we heard two explosions, one of them being very loud. You can see those fumes of smoke, that thick clouds, smoke clouds coming out from the Sardar Daud Khan Hospital here in Kabul. Anas Mallick in Kabul, Afghanistan for WION World is One.
But an official news agency has quoted a witness explaining the incident. According to the witness, the explosion took place right next to the main gate on the inner side of the hospital. A number of Islamic State fighters have entered and a gun battle broke out between the attackers and the Taliban security forces. The eyewitness is safe and unhurt as he ran out of the hospital immediately after the first explosion hit. The blasts have added to a growing list of attacks and killings. Since the Taliban took control of the country, these have further undermined their claim to have restored security in Afghanistan after decades of war. The Islamic State has been carrying out a series of attacks on mosques and other targets since the 14th of August. And that was our correspondent Anas Mallick getting us that update from the blast site right after the attack took place. He's now joining us live on the broadcast. Get us up to speed with the latest, Anas. The security forces saying on the Taliban side that 4 attackers have been killed, but no claim of responsibility so far.
Well, absolutely, Molly. The ordeal or the siege has ended of the Daud Khan military hospital here in Kabul after 2.5-hour-long operation that was launched by the Taliban. It started with a suicide blast taking place right at the entrance, after which fighters or attackers or gunmen had stormed inside the premises. There was a fierce gun battle. We were there right after the first explosion took place. And yes, after a little while, when we got there, we heard the second explosion. The shock waves were quite big. I could easily feel it. I was about a kilometer from the actual explosion site, less than a kilometer actually. And then the Taliban had barred us from reporting from there because they said that it is an ongoing operation back then, and they said that they don't want the positions of their forces to be revealed. We saw helicopters hovering over the skies of Kabul, a sight that was that is now quite of a rarity following the Taliban takeover. And after 2.5 hours of this battle, the Taliban sources claiming that they have killed all 4 of the attackers. 2 of them had detonated themselves. Additionally, what I can confirm that 19 people have been killed, whereas another 43 are injured. Molly?
Right, we're leaving it there for the moment. Anas Mallick getting us those updates from Kabul on those explosions. Thanks very much for the moment. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.